Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day, regardless of this typical nonsense from Bitcoin. Looks like the fair value gap here as low as 61.2 is majority filled. So most of that has been taken care of. The question I get right now is how much higher is Bitcoin going to go? There's a slight possibility that we see this fair value gap from previous get filled, but I think that's kind of a hope and a prayer at this point. Since we've lost 60,000, there's a solid chance it's going to be a new resistance range for us. So 60 to 61K is a rough estimate, will be that resistance range. And based on candlestick closures, we look here back on the hourly, 60,100, 60.1 is effectively that resistance that we should expect to hold here moving forward. But again, you never truly know. It's very early. This is the first time we're testing it as a resistance. So we'll see if there's any luck there. But generally speaking, that's the concept. For the immediate range, right? We're still establishing the range. There's no way to really anticipate how high or low it will go moving forward. We can just kind of go based on recent, areas of interest, so to speak, right? Open interest, things of that nature we can look at too. So we'll go ahead and do that here. Let's go ahead and just make sure we got the right charts pulled up. I want to say thanks again to everybody for liking, subscribing, following the whole 9 yards. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the like button down below. And quick congrats to our members here. We took a nice short position once again yesterday after my analysis kind of let you know that 62,300 was a good area. 29% we got in a day. And then, of course, Aptos, a previous short, hit a good 40%. So what we want to look at here is, liquidation levels. And again, we talked about this being consistent. You see 61.5, that solid area of previous support that got swept pretty hard. Most longs got destroyed there. Then, of course, late longs enter again at 60,000, don't learn their lesson, and they just got destroyed as well. So the key takeaway here is that there's a lot less longs here in the market at this 58.7 mark than there was previous at 60K. That generally implies that they're a little more timid, and it's with good reason. Yeah. Now that we've gone down that low, though, you got to keep in mind too, the delta for shorts is gaining, right? It's at about 6 million. Sorry, 6 billion rather. Million, that's chump change. 6 billion is essentially what we're looking at there for the current delta on shorts, basically implying that there's too many shorts in the market and now they have a target on their back. If we look at open interest here too, that's pretty much par for the course, right around 62,000, 61.5, of course, I think is the more important number to recognize. That to me seems like a very solid resistance level. And if you look here, look at this white line. You see how easy that is to track. Almost every time the price action tried to break below that level, it couldn't. Now that we're below it, we got to presume it's going to work as a resistance. That's generally how support and resistance zones or levels are structured. And we do take a look here at the macro. Again, kind of zooming out once more. This hasn't changed much, maybe slightly less, but there's still roughly 70 billion or more between 56 and 58,000 worth of liquidation. Okay, so just keep in mind the selling pressure is still pretty high. So my speculation is we might see the price continue just a little bit higher, maybe retest this descending trend line. Maybe I would say 61,500 as a possibility, and then of course retrace from there, just based on that being somewhat of that I wouldn't say point of control. We got the point of control here more so at about 62K, but it's an area of interest with open interest being kind of a specific total there. There's a lot of interest at that level, implying that people have a lot of positions there. In turn, that should work as somewhat of a resistance zone. So let's look at the daily time frame, work our way down. I do have our macro fibs macro fib levels pulled up here. We can see 0.5 so far holding fairly strong at 59,500. I wouldn't say this is strong by any stretch. It's just one attempt to that range to see how it works. But again, it's par for the course. I wouldn't be surprised if the price just continues to go higher from here, based on the fact that the market makers got what they wanted right now. They destroyed a lot of longs at this level. They were able to average their position in nicely, and now they're getting profit on the way up. They're going to keep pushing it up until more people come in, more late longs, so to speak. Natural people like you and I. So, and what's going to happen is they're going to go ahead and destroy them next. Okay, because again, late longs are soon to be targeted. But once more, when we have a delta like this here with so many shorts, that needs to cut back. Last time we saw this happen, it was closer to 9 billion in delta on short liquidation levels, and that's just way too high. That is that natural pendulum, right? It has to swing back. So with us having so many shorts in the market, it would make sense for the price to run up to that 61.5 range as a rough estimate and then potentially pull back from there. If we do take a look here on the daily, you can kind of see that fair value gap. It goes upwards about 61.8, round number 62K. And again, remember 62, 62.5, basically 63,000 is the macro point of control. So if all goes well, we retest this area and just short the hell out of it. That's kind of the concept. Anyways, okay, let's take a look at some indications and kind of recognize that we look at RSI being under 70 and 50 as a disadvantageous situation. Keep in mind, it's going to take a while for the daily time frame to get back up over 50. So while the price action can still recover, we're still short-term bearish, if you will. So you got to kind of recognize that you don't just wear your Chicago Bears hat for like the next 5 months because we're diverging, we're under that level. If everything else is telling us we're bullish, it's a different story. But right now, though, the daily time frame is going to be a lagging indicator telling us that we have way too much money coming out of this coin. The perception is considered to be oversold, and the price is more likely to stay in this range or lower. So it can still come back up, but we're going to face some resistance soon, which is really pretty much concurrent in a lot of ways with that 61.5 mark. We got stochastic pulling down, of course. Nothing's changed here, really. This is really the same scenario as before. I guess the difference is that we hadn't lost the 50 on the SMA yet. And again, I kind of reiterated that earlier. If you missed it, don't use simple moving averages as like support levels. People tend to think that the price is holding this level because of that. No, that's just kind of a baseline letting us know that we are either on the right side or the wrong side of the tracks. Every single moving average is above the price action right now, so we can presume that's going to be a difficult bridge to gap or a tough place to cross. All right, that's really all it boils down to. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, once again, this is that bear flag that I sent out earlier today, kind of indicating to my community that hey, we got some problems on the horizon. So take a look at our trade alert, kind of identify this for our community, just kind of letting you know that there's multiple confirming factors, bear flag, all moving averages, descending trend line holds. These are all reasons you don't take a long position. So again, to those who are stubborn to try to take longs, I don't know if that's a well done or good job, but kudos to you, I guess, if you somehow persevered through this, but used any form of leverage, you probably got destroyed on that wick down. Key takeaway here is that I'm sure somebody took a long at 59.5 and says that, probably thinks that they're the bee's knees right now and just gloating about how awesome they are. I would not trust that person just simply based on the fact that they are buying a dip, and anyone could do that. Okay? The key takeaway here is that the price is probably due to recover because it was massively overextended to the downside. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that bouncing off 30 on the RSI and 20 on the money flow index is a common characteristic. If you've seen my videos, you'll know that this is an area of interest. You're always going to find success in buying that area. The key takeaway is that people get greedy and they want to keep taking it all the way to the top. If you're in profit right now, secure some profit, folks. There's no guarantee we're going to see 61.5. The key takeaway here is that until this descending trend is broken, we got to presume it's going to continue. All right, so just bear that in mind. Now we'll take a look here. I'll go ahead and adjust I'll post our playout chart in here shortly, of course, on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, so you can kind of see these numbers in a little bit more updated chart here for you. But my speculation is 61.5 is going to be a resistance if we even make it to that level. Let's take a look at the hourly and wrap it up here. Ichimoku Cloud is telling us that we are in a position where lagging span is intersecting. Therefore, you should consider securing profits on your short. We took 30% on our shorts as a 10x leverage trade, really simple 3% move, if you will. And again, it's not rocket science, folks. We secure profits when we're in profit. We don't just get greedy. You don't want to short to 50,000. That may never happen. You take profits when you can. That's the only way to survive in this market. Another way to survive is to not overtrade. But that's a conversation for another day. I mentioned that because somebody in my Discord kept asking, like, I've been trading for a long time and I keep overtrading. How do you fix this? Well, a lot of it is mind, body, and soul. If you're into that thing, if you have a good, comfortable balance and you're healthy and you have a good clarity, you're getting enough sleep, you're not burning your candle on both ends. Those are all really strong foundational things about being a trader. Okay? You'll notice that I'm optimistic. Most of it is because I take care of myself in my part-time or my regular life, if you will. And this part-time job that I have, so to speak, is it's fueled better because of those things. So just some food for thought, quite literally. Eat. You are what you eat. And if you don't exercise, you probably should adjust your behavior. That will help you a lot. Anyways, I tend to go off on tangents. The hourly time frame here pretty much telling us that we're not seeing a shift in momentum, but the truth is conversion line, baseline, they're getting close to each other, and the lagging span almost touching the price kind of implies that you should consider securing profits. Okay, but again, this fair value gap has gotten filled. a lot of times these fair value gaps get filled and instantly turn around. We are reaching a resistance range at 60,100, 60.1. So there's a solid chance that could reject out here soon. Asia could open the market and drive the price down. If not, then maybe they'll push it up to this other previous, more recent fair value gap as high as about 62K. And that's this guy right here. So once again, I'll post that on our playout chart here soon. If you're not familiar, it looks a little something like this. Trust no other. This is pretty much just my channel. And I just want to speak on that for just a brief moment. I'll let you go. Do not trust anybody who's going to try to direct message you first or seem eager to help. That's not me. Not that I'm not eager to help. I do it in my videos. I do it in a lot of different ways. If you reach out to me first, I'll communicate with you, but I'm not going to try to solicit you. So please, folks, you're part of my Discord. You're part of my Telegram, whatever it is. Don't trust anybody who says that they are me. I'm never going to ask you what your experience looks like and send you a cute little GIF when I send a friend invite. That's just not me. Okay. Anyways, just a heads up on that. I mean, while it's flattering to have imposters or impersonators or whatever you call it, it's really annoying that people will keep falling for it. So I'm sorry if that was you. Either way, appreciate you watching, liking the video, commenting below if you get a chance. And once more, obviously, just doing yourself a favor, trading with the world's best exchange, folks. Exclusive deposit bonus for Bitunix this month. Excellent reward bonus if you use my link to register or had used it in the past. This is mainly for our current community members, so make sure you take advantage of it if you can. It's just a nice, easy feature, and once again, they're just really, really cool exchange. They've been great to us, so really like them. So thanks again. I hope you all have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.